This is Ecclesiastes 3:1-3. There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal. Now there is time and then there is time. Nothing ever dies. We only change form. People beget spirits, beget creaked from untouched floors, beget trees, seeds in the saplings into seeds. Don't you go looking for memories. There is time, and then there is time. Seeds into saplings into seeds. Don't you go looking for memories. When God stirs at the horizon to make snow cream, you hide. Can tear trees from their foundation. Do you want to be next? Turn those lamps off in the room of living. There's a storm coming. There is time, and then there is time. People beget spirits, beget creaks from untouched floors, beget trees. Look to the sky. The sky is relative. Ticking machines that keep track of nothing are made by man. The sky is not. The sky is your relative. Now there is time, and then there is time. Nothing ever dies. We only change form. The sky is your relative. Time is relative. Say a prayer to the sky and bury the relative. There is time, and then there is time. I have a thing for writing things from the Bible, but not really reading it that much. But some things inspire me to do so. So I wrote like a continuation piece from the one you just heard. So see if you can hear anything from you heard from the last one and how I tried to bring it back in. All right. There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Now there is time, and then there is time. When God stirs at the horizon to make snow cream, you hide. Can tear trees from their foundation, you want to be next. If you break, he will put you back together, but don't be reckless. Mending takes time. Time is relative. Now there is time, and then there is time. Turn those lamps off in the room of living. There is a storm coming. When the sky weeps, you weep too. The sky is your relative. Beam when you see the power of rain and how clean you have become. Now there is time, and then there is time. Ticking machines that keep track of nothing are made by man. The sky is not. The sky is your relatives. Relatives are taken by time. They grow antsy of being human. Nothing ever dies. We only change form. There is time, and then there is time. If you break, he will put you back together, but don't be reckless. When the sky weeps, you weep too. The sky is your relative. Make a prayer of the sky and bury the pieces not used in your reassembly. There is time, and then there is time. I got two more pieces for you all. Hope you're all still awake. I don't have any music. I moved to Charlotte from Brooklyn, New York when I was about 7. And being a kid in Charlotte, it's hard because in New York, as long as you have somebody 2 years older than you, you can go and be in the city forever. It's so much easier to get around and so much independence. Brooklyn is always a place where I felt like was my home. Pretty much every summer until my high school years, I would go back because all my family would be there. So this is a poem about, where I first felt like home was. It's called Memories of Brooklyn, Part 1. The cliche, "it takes a village," applies to my life all too well. I believe I surround myself with loving people because it reminds me of Bed-Stuy, of Nana's plastic-covered furniture and dark, strong coffee, When I wanted to hang with the old heads and seep in their wisdom, I was filter. Woman passing through Brick House on Shepherd Avenue, all of whom were Nana sisters or cousins, because we're all black and present in this village. I remember her eyes, gray shards of brown, as if the wisdom she gathered over the years could not be contained solely in her hair follicles, like sea glass snatched by African slaves on the shores of Charleston, South Carolina, held on to secret, perhaps to sharpen later, to use against the one that put them in shackles when they aren't paying attention. 2. Ruth Taylor had seen some things, and her eyes wouldn't let you forget it. I'm pretty sure I was her favorite, and she was the coolest human I knew. She liked that at the age of 4. I'd rather spend time with her indoors than on the block with the 7 and the 8-year-olds, ready to run to the corner store to see their 14-year-old big cousin picking up his auntie a yoo-hoo and a little something for himself, get robbed at knife point by 2 other big kids I'd seen around the village, and get this rush because in that moment they were time travelers, an advanced screening of their futures, played out in front of quarter warders and sicklets. Thank you. This is my last piece. So every month, every year, there's April is like National Poetry Writing Month, and it's like a challenge with poets to try and write a poem every day. It is horrendous. I have never finished, even though I've been trying maybe for the past 4 years, I guess. But it's a good challenge to try to push yourself to be creative, put yourself in spaces where you try to open yourself up and write about things that are a little hard to write about. So this is one of the poems I wrote during this past National Poetry Writing Month. I call it The Rock Cycle. I am concrete. I am sidewalk, highway, highlighting possible paths for many a wanderer to take, pushing other upwards and onwards as I am foundation, made from women who are rocks of my community, but not before they were quarry, dug out of their first mother, stolen because folks never seen anything like us, shine like us, strong like us, beautiful like us. After being ground down, after centuries of being mishandled, since folks never seen anything like us, steadfast like us, adaptable like us, talented like us. Folks didn't know that we were and are meant to be marveled at and let alone. The rocks of my family transfigured into dust to create me, leaving their legacy in the glints of brilliance found in asphalt. We have always been foundation for others. Please do not be confused by my guise, nor doubt who I am. Thank you.